Hello, I'm Emma from DIY with Emma, and this video is about how to rewire a plug. So most plugs, when you buy them new, will come with this really handy little diagram that shows you where all of the wires need to go. But I'm going to open this up and I'm going to show you how to take it out and how to rewire it. Now first of all, you're going to want to start with the main screw. So there'll be one screw about the middle that connects the front part to this back part, and usually it's the type of screw that doesn't allow you to take it out fully, and that means that you're not going to lose it. As it happens, this is one that comes all the way out, so don't lose it. Yeah, usually they have a little piece of metal on the end so that you can't quite pull them out. It means you never lose them. Okay, let's turn this over. So as you can see, there are 3 different wires and they correspond with this little diagram. So if you're wiring it for the first time, this will basically show you where you need to put each of these 3, because there's 3 little ports, these 3. I don't think they're called ports, but that's just what I call them. So to be able to put in the wire or take the wire out, you need to loosen these 3 and also this one, because that's what grips the cord so that it doesn't come out of the plug. So let's go ahead and do that now. And whilst I'm doing this, a quick note on fuses. If you've got an appliance that just suddenly stops working for no apparent reason, it won't turn on, there's no light coming from it, it could be that the fuse has blown. And so you're able to take this back off the plug. Some of them don't have this back, and there's just a tiny little section that you can pop open the fuse. Perhaps I'll try and find an example for you. And then you can just replace the fuse with the same ampage, and that might well make it work. And if you don't want to have to go out and buy new fuses, if you're not too sure if it's the fuse that's the problem, you can see if you can take a fuse out of a different plug that is the same ampage, just to check to see if it's the fuse that has gone. So I'm just going to unscrew the cord grip. Okay, now I've loosened these, you'll just be able to pop these out. As you can see, there'll be the wire that is sometimes twisted a little bit so that it fits. It doesn't need to be twisted as long as the wires aren't poking out. Oops. And pop that fuse back in. So this is the live, the neutral and the earth wires. And you'll often find that they will be slightly different lengths like this. That's because as they're going in, they're obviously going into different distances from the bottom of the plug, and so the person who wired this would have just made these slightly shorter so that it's easier and there's not too many wires inside bunching up on the inside. So if you've got a new plug and a new wire and you're just about to cut off part of the sleeve so that you can put it in, you could try and make them different lengths like this so that they fit in better. So let's have a look at these instructions. So what I really like about these instructions is it actually tells you information about the colours that the wires need to be. Now this one, this is the neutral, it says blue or black. The reason it says blue or black is because the wires used to be black and red. That used to be the standard colours, and it changed in the 80s or something like that. And it was a while ago anyway, but you still sometimes find black and red wiring in your house. So that's why they make sure you know that if it's blue, that's the same as black. If it's brown, that's the same as red. So I'm going to get these wires all in line, and I'm going to pop this through here. You can unscrew these completely so that it's a bit easier. I like to make my life difficult and try and pop them in like this. Okay, and I think I'm going to put this neutral in first, and you just have to make sure that these screws have been unwound enough so that there's space. Let me show you what that looks like inside. You see? So if it's too If it's screwed down too much, then the wire won't go in. That's why you need to make it like that. So I'm going to make sure that there's no bits of the wire popping out, and I'm going to pop that through. I'm just going to tighten that up. Okay, back to the instructions. So which one's next? Up here we have the red or brown. This one's the brown. So it all gets a little bit fiddly. I'm going to try and pop that. Oops. It's not quite undone enough. There we go. Screw that one in. Pop that back into place so I can put the fuse back in. And this final one, which is the neutral. In you go. You want to make sure that it's fully in there. You don't want it to be like, you know, half poking out. You want to make sure that it's got a good contact. And let's screw that closed. And now that that's done, you can turn it back to the front and you can just tighten up the grips. And there you have your completely rewired plug. You can put the back on. And you can pick up the screw that you definitely didn't lose because you put it somewhere safe. That little tug is nice and secure, and there we go. One rewired plug. Let's pop that back on there for usage another time. And just before I go, I wanted to show you the other example of the plug that I mentioned earlier. Now this one's completely all sealed in, you actually can't open this. This often is the case if you've got a plug from an appliance, so this is actually a VHS player. Please don't judge me too harshly. And with these, you can just find a fine screwdriver and just pop open. Oh, it can be a bit fiddly. Where the fuse is. It's like a little magical capsule. And then you replace it, pop it in, and it should work. Thank you very much, and if any of that was helpful, do consider subscribing, and I'll join you next time.